Put him on the field.
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons.
All right, you good?
Powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. And we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It is, wow, it's great to be back, honestly. It's great to be back here on ESPN Asheville. It's been a while since we've been together, Mullet.
It has been a minute. You have stopped trying to impale yourself, and
trust me, there was no try in that.
You're on your wheelie scooter, but we are reconvened to talk about sports.
Yes, indeed. We are back, and I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal Greeny's line. Better than ever. Back and better than ever. Here on ESPN Asheville, inside the Ingles studio. Been gone for a little while. Been doing some traveling. Been doing some hurting myself. You know, dealing with sickness and death in the family, and it has been an absolute brutal month. I mean, we left and got down to New Orleans on, what was that, February the 4th? February 3rd, February 4th was the beginning of that week. I know the game was on the 9th.
Yes, the night. So you got down there on January 31st, I believe, because you came down on Saturday.
Okay. See, there you go. I have lost every minute of my life, it feels like, since that moment. Since that moment that we were down in New Orleans. The last day that I have a full recollection of, I think, is that Tuesday when I went to the media party. Because the next day I woke up with the sickness from hell, and ever since then it has been flu to respiratory infection to skewering my foot to foot getting infected to being in the hospital for 8 days to going to Washington, D.C. to lobby Congress on behalf of saving AM radio in cars, and then back here, and it never stops. It has just been a never-ending cycle, and I'm sorry I have missed so much time with you guys, but I'll be honest with you when I say I have missed all of this time with you guys. I am so glad to be back in saddle here, at least for a little while. It's still gonna be a little bit of a choppy week here in the Sportsocracy. We have full show today. Tomorrow's going to be a half day. We got an hour and a half. We're going to go from noon to 1:30 tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville, and then we have ACC basketball because ESPN Asheville will be your source in town for the ACC tournament. All of it starting on Thursday. We will have ESPN coverage of all of the ACC tournament games all day on Thursday. So you will not have a Sportsocracy on Thursday. Half day tomorrow because we got to make way for the Tar Heels second round game in the ACC tournament. That starts at 1:30 tomorrow. And then Friday, we will have a special mock draft show. Is that what we're planning for?
Well,
for
I mean, the hope is that by Friday, I have wrapped my brain around everything that's happened in free agency, because there are a handful of teams that I just look at and go, I don't think you should even make a pick.
That's not
there's no player that makes sense for you, and I don't like it. So there's that.
Free agency has been just absolutely insane, and we haven't been with you to talk about the biggest deals that got done.
No, don't worry. We got 3 hours to talk about it today.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into all of them. But is there one deal that made you just go, oh my?
Yes. I am pretty sure that Mike Borgonzi, the new GM of the Tennessee Titans, who was the Maury Povich, Where's Waldo of the NFL Combine, because I think I saw him 50 times.
Right.
I don't think he knows who Dan Moore Jr. is. He signed him to a contract that I don't think his parents would have signed him to. And that's hard for me to wrap my brain around.
What was the deal?
4 years, $82 million.
Say that again. Sorry, it broke up on you.
4 years, $82 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 years. Wow.
I think somebody forgot a decimal point. And look, decimal points are really important. Because if you had told me it was 4 years, $8.2 million, I would have been overjoyed of you got a great deal. At $82 million, I think somebody needs an AA meeting because you are smoking recreational crimes.
Well, there was the $250 million guaranteed money for Josh Allen, which I mean I don't have a problem with. Good for him. I believe it's going to be just fine. That's a fine investment in Josh Allen. Then there was the $40 million a year Myles Garrett deal, where the Cleveland Browns went, you know what, we got to have something that somebody likes.
Yes, every team in the NFL now hates the Cleveland Browns. Could you stop resetting the market on everyone, please?
They did it with Deshaun Watson, and now they did it with
with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, with Myles Garrett. Good Lord.
I was about to say, did you forget his name?
And then my deal. I did for a second. And then there was the deal that I looked at and went, I can't wait to see how this works out. I'm all for it because I love DK Metcalf, but I'm really just trying to figure out who's the first fist fight in training camp going to be. Is he going to fist fight with George Pickens? Because I'm pretty sure that moment's coming.
The Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, my biggest question is, hey, who's throwing to them? Because you still have a quarterback, right? Because your quarterback's now my quarterback, which oh god, I'm still not to a point I can say it.
I mean, don't you think they're going to bring back Russ?
No, that's already been well established.
Has that already been discarded?
Yeah, that's not happening.
You got to catch me up here because, like I said, I've been gone for a while.
Well, it was Pittsburgh and the Jets on Justin Fields, and the Jets won that. I don't feel like I won anything. This is kind of like winning a free colorectal exam. I mean, I won the prize. I'm just not sure the prize was worth winning.
Right.
So now it's. I can't see how the next starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not one Aaron Nathaniel Rodgers the fourth. Let's go. Aaron Rodgers with DK Metcalf and George Pickens. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I mean, that might be the fist fight.
Oh, no, that's not a fist fight. No, that's not a fist fight, but it could be a really fun sit around the table and talk about stuff while
they go sit around and do crimes.
Yeah, Aaron's real high on ayahuasca, and he's talking to DK Metcalf and George Pickens about how if you expand your mind, man, then football is really just a vacuum of life, and you gotta take it in and breathe in the emotions of the Mother Nature aura. I would kill to see DK and George Pickens just sit there and go, "The hell are you talking about?" Like, you haven't said a word I understood in 8 minutes, and you haven't stopped talking in 8 minutes.
I think the DK Metcalf deal was my favorite, just because I think that's the one that's going to bring out the most drama.
I can't say it's my favorite. Brandon Hollum in our YouTube chat, I think, has my favorite one, which is the Houston Texans looked at their offensive line and went, "Y'all suck, and so we're going to get rid of all of you. What are we replacing you with? Nothing. Yep. You were so bad that we're just not going to have an offensive line. How about that? We're going to sign 14 wide receivers, and we're going to play Arena League ball."
Seems to be one of those important things that you would want to have.
I would love to know how that meeting went. The Washington Commanders called us about Laramie Tunsil, and they would really like him. But he's the only offensive lineman we have that's any good. Exactly. We trade the only one that's any good. I mean, it's not like we can get any worse, but you could, though. That's the thing. But you could, though.
Mm-hmm. Look, was Laramie Tunsil bad?
No.
Has he been taking the step back?
He's an older guy, but
right,
look, left tackle is gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gnarly.
It's just wild how the swing has happened there in Houston. Right, an amazing swing in the rookie year of C.J. Stroud where we went, oh my gosh, look at this. Nick Caserio's a genius. This is all fantastic. This is all working. It's magic in a bottle. And then last year was a disappointment. And now in this offseason, I mean, these aren't good signs that things are headed in the right direction.
No.
I mean, have they turned the dial back onto rebuild? Like, it was trying to take advantage of the young rookie quarterback while he's great. Now it feels like they've taken 4 steps back and gone, okay, we just need to retool everywhere else.
No, here's what I think's going to happen. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Maybe Nick Caserio is every bit as dumb as we thought he was. And now he's really trying to prove it. And so they're going to go old New England Patriots where we play 5 guards, 2 of them at tackle that are laughably bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we get C.J. Stroud killed. Because that's where I think this is headed. I mean, because I don't know how you're going to replace these guys. That deal came down last night while you and I were at the 2025 Ingles SoCon Basketball Championships, which was awesome, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You were not able to stay for the game because
did you stay for the game?
I did. I stayed until the end of the game.
Nice.
And the end that's without a doubt the most people I've seen in that building in
years.
A long time. It was
probably
wild.
since COVID.
Oh, for sure. It was wild. And maybe I just didn't ingratiate myself to Greenville enough when I lived there. I didn't realize how bad Furman and Wofford hated each other.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's a lot of hate.
Spartanburg. That's bad blood. That's neighborhood rivalry. That's, on a very much smaller scale, but that's Duke, Carolina, right? That's the 2 neighboring cities that just butt heads regardless without the basketball.
And if you need a comparison, because we are in Asheville. So basically, the way Greenville and Spartanburg feel about each other is the way Asheville and everybody else feel about each other. So it's like every other city around Asheville goes, oh, all the woke hippies are in Greenville and we're all the good country folk. And all the people in Greenville look at them and go, how many cows do you need, bro? Like, how many cows is too many cows? Because you don't have a dairy farm.
Yes.
Because for you, they're pets, and that's weird.
Soaring Eagle in the YouTube comments with our first super chat of the day.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
I will get to Sir Jimothy's here. Soaring Eagles was the first one that I saw. Free agent day 1 summary. I'm loving life right now. Jeremy, not so much. And Mike Borgonzi is a falafeling buffoon.
Yep.
On the falafel.
Mike Borgonzi did not have a good first day of free agency. Hey, we drafted 2 guys in the top 12 that neither one really has a position. We tried to play J.C. Latham at left tackle, and he gave up the second most sacks in the NFL among left tackles. And you know what? I got an idea. You know what we should replace him with? The one guy who gave up more. That's and we're going to give him $50 million guaranteed. Thinking, cooking with gas. It's different. It's a different way of thinking. I like it. It makes no sense, and I like it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
All right, this one for Sir Jimothy. He's Tank with a bunch of exclamation points. Welcome back. We missed you, man. I missed you guys too. I ain't lying. Like I wanted so badly to try to strap a headset on and do shows from the hospital room, but I just couldn't. I'm telling you, man, that is a whole nother level of pain that I didn't. I mean, I knew it existed, but I'd never experienced it before. you drive a metal spike through your foot in the bottom out the top. That's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a fun time for you for a while.
Tank, I've had to answer this question enough times, so and I don't feel like my answer is sinking in. So I'm going to say it, and then I need you to confirm what I'm saying. No matter what you and I do outside of this show, neither one of us is leaving this show.
No.
Can you please confirm that, because nobody seems to be listening to me?
Yes. Nobody's leaving. No, we're not leaving.
I'm not getting hired by any team to take over their college scouting. I've heard some weird rumors of where I might be headed, and that you were taking over for, like, I can't remember who the political talk show I heard was. I was like, you guys think way too much of us.
Mm-hmm.
We both have new friends. We're doing some extra things, but this is our A job, and this is the job that we enjoy the most.
This is still our baby. This is still something that we can grow, and we have enjoyed you guys growing along with us. I got no plans to go anywhere. I love doing this each and every day when I'm physically capable of doing so, and I will continue to do so, especially when we have such great partners that keep us on the air. You know, when we have partnerships with Ingles Supermarkets, who has just, carried us over the years. Parks Ford of Hendersonville, loved having JW in on the program with you yesterday. Always a great time having him in and having him around. I mean, that guy's he's got an infectious attitude. And you're looking for
he's an absolute.
If you're ever in the market for a car, Parks Ford of Hendersonville, go see JW. He will treat you right. Tell him we sent you.
And I don't know if he loves the way I explain this, but I do explain it this way. If you don't love car sales guys, you should buy your car from JW Whitley.
Yes.
Because he is the genuinely most honest human being I've ever met in my life.
Yes.
Also a lot of fun
Clarissa.
to consume beverages with, but that's probably not in terms of talking about buying your car. That's
right. Clarissa sells WNC.com. She's been a friend of ours for long before she was ever a supporter of our dream, and we are so thankful for that partnership. And we will continue to bring on great partners like Bear's Smokehouse. Bear's Smokehouse, downtown Asheville, is the new official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Bear's Smokehouse has been doing a lot for our community lately. They gave up their space in downtown Asheville on Cox Avenue. They're on the south slope to the World Central Kitchens during the flood, in the aftermath of the flood, making sure that that vital organization was able to feed people in our community. And this is a place that, it may be underneath the radar when it comes to sports viewing. But they have all the televisions, and they have some amazing food, and they want you to come and either discover or rediscover Bear's Smokehouse, because they are back open now. And at the end of this month, on the 29th, they are going to be having a To Hell with Helene party. It's something that we all just kind of need to wash out of our, it's never going to leave us. It's always going to be with us, but they have put together this event that maybe can help us kind of exercise some demons with each other. It is, they call it a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party. It is going to benefit Linked for Life, which is a mental health initiative, and they're going to have some mental health activities at this party. They're going to have axe throwing. If you're into the I eat my feelings, they're going to have a pie eating contest, which I'm really considering. Do y'all need a celebrity participant, quote unquote, celebrity participant?
I was about to say, that's the first time I've ever heard Tank call himself a celebrity.
We might should do that.
If they're having a pie eating contest, I'm in. I like pie.
Yeah. Mechanical bull rides. There's going to be, of course, the great barbecue from Bear's Smokehouse, and live music from our good friend Lyric. Also, Kayla Clark, the comedian, is going to be doing the MC work during the To Hell with Helene party. March 29th, Cox Avenue, Bear's Smokehouse in downtown Asheville. 2 locations. Check them out. They've got the balls, by the way. They have bear balls that are on the menu now, and these things are like, whew, they're like hush puppy, the great granddaddy of hush puppies, basically. Cornbread, cheese, and pulled pork fried into a little bowl with cheese and bacon on top of it. Oh, my goodness. So great. Bears Smokehouse. Go check them out today and join us on March 29th for the To Hell with Helene party. It is all going to get underway at 5 o'clock on that Saturday, and it will go into the later hours of the evening. But great to have Bears Barbecue, the now official barbecue of the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a break. We'll come back. When we come back, we're going to try to unwrap more from the frenzy that has been free agency so far on this eve of the opening of the NFL season. We'll be right back.
Bears Smokehouse Barbecue down
Clear.
is back. Join
Tim,
us on the
I'm going to
29th
restart Zoom
Bears
because
on
you're on
South
a
Slope
great
for
lag.
lighthearted rage.
Okay.
And Zoom seems to be struggling. I think your internet is struggling there.
We'll exercise some demons together.
That would not surprise me.
Pie eating contests, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say to hell with Helene with us at Bears Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going.
I could have planned that a little better. Didn't mean to play the commercial at the same time.
Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may
Just hammering home that point.
you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
The Fender family on their mother's experience at Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation.
She enjoyed it so much with all the people, all the activities.
Oh, she got along with the staff great, and they took good care of her too.
It made me go home and sleep at night. I didn't have to worry about her because I knew she was being taken care of.
And she loved going out in the courtyard. We always had picnics with her.
Mama was so happy.
Discover the Sandstone difference at sanstonehealth.com.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time, the moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. Back in saddle once again. NFL free agency has been absolutely insane. Deals left and right, and what is your favorite face in a new place? What is the best fit for you early on in this process?
I love what Denver's done so far with Tally Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw. It's two positions I don't love in the draft, and to go get two players that I believe that highly in is that's how you do free agency. It's so funny to me to watch. Look, we all know how I feel about Sean Payton, but that's a team that knows what they are. They're telling you what they are. They know they have a limited quarterback. You can blow all the sunshine and rainbows up my keister that you want to. You know Bo Nix is not an elite quarterback under any stretch of the imagination. So what are they doing? They're steering into Bo can make a few plays a game, but we're going to be real good defensively. And I love what they've done to start. It's also funny to me to watch New England. New England is, you said favorite, but I can't help but make fun of New England. New England is like handing a child $100 bill and letting them walk into a candy store, and they don't make it past the first display. Like, they just buy $98 in Gobstoppers and shove them in their mouth.
Right.
What do we do now? Oh, I forgot. We do need a left tackle, and finding one of those is going to be tough. By the way, I think it was Randy Luss that asked this earlier. Do the Patriots really believe Will Campbell's the best player in this draft? Do they think he's a left tackle? The answer to all of those things, yes. Yes, they do. And with the way they spent their free agency dollars, confirms that for me. Travis Hunter's what you want.
He's
but
it's hard not to like Will Campbell. I'm fully in the Will Campbell camp. I mean, maybe he can't play left tackle with, what'd you say, 31-inch arms or whatever.
Yeah, well, the only thing I wonder is how is he going to put his pants on with those little 31.5-inch arms.
Well, I mean, he's been doing it pretty fine at LSU, has he not?
I agree. I'm not making fun of New England. I have Will Campbell. I just finished my big board. So my big board for the draft is done. Draftable grades are all done. Now I'm to the priority undrafted free agents and beyond that. There might be a little play in the 6th, 7th round, but top 5 rounds, they're done. For me, there are 4 elite prospects in this class. It's Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Will Campbell, and Mason Graham. 2 of them have little teeny tiny arms that are going to possibly push them down. And you're going to regret you did that.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Armin Mimbo, I'm pretty sure by the time April 24th rolls around, he's going to be able to fly. He hasn't played a game, not one. And every single critique we had on him has disappeared. He's Joe Thomas and Larry Allen and Thor with the hammer all wrapped into one. Hell, he might go one. As a matter of fact, a team might trade up to 1/2 to take Armin Mimbo.
I mean, are people just now discovering his talent, or is this just crazy hype?
We do this every year. We do this every year with a player that, but we're going to outthink the room, and he was so good. He played right tackle at Missouri, okay? Like, I get it. There's good tape on him. I have him in the first round. This whole New England's going to take him at 4. If they're smoking drugs, they are. If you take him over Will Campbell, you've lost your mind.
Now, in my absence, my extended absence here from the Sportsocracy, doing all of the things I've been doing, I did spend some time in the nation's capital last week. And, while I was up there doing the political things, there was one striking thing that stood out to me sports-wise about my visit there. I don't know that there is a single soul that is not in government and working for another state, right? Up there, working for their constituents from their own state. I don't think there's one person that lives in Washington, D.C. that is not 170,000% in on the Washington Commanders, and it's hard not to it's hard to say anything against that. The momentum that Washington now has after making the NFC Championship game, everybody knows or everybody feels like they hit the home run with Jaden Daniels, and the moves that they have made early in this free agency period. Sure, there's pros and cons to everything like there is in life, but for the most part, I think everybody in the NFC needs to fear the Washington Commanders right now.
Tank, I think you know that at the Combine I made some nice new friends with the Commanders. They're very kind to me, and I'm very pro Washington Commanders. So I actually will be on with those guys again next week.
Nice.
Talking NFL draft with Logan Paulson and Fred Smoot.
But now that they have made the deal to bring in Laramie Tunsil, they're bringing in Deebo Samuel to team up there with Terry McLaurin. Didn't like the fact that Diami's not there anymore. Although he gets to go to Jacksonville, so I mean that's going to be.
Oh, you mean that place where wide receivers go to die?
I don't know how you got talked into that, Diami, but
$12 million.
Whew, I wouldn't have done that.
$12 million.
No,
I'll tell you, he got talked into it.
I'll take the pay cut. He's going to do great though. I do love Diami Brown. And as long as they can get something out of Trevor, maybe that'll be a good, a good matchup for him. But, you look at the dichotomy of staying with the Washington Commanders. I don't even know if that was an option for him.
It
I don't know what they would have been willing to give him.
It did not sound like the offer there was in line.
Right. I mean, I get it. Go get your bag. There's some places I don't want to see my Tar Heels go to, and one of those places would be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Another team like a child in a candy store.
Yeah.
What do you want? The Goobers are right there. I want all the Goobers.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen temple.
Please clip that, somebody.
SPN Asheville.
I want all the Goobers.
Temperatures staying well above normal now as temperatures are going to soar above 70 degrees the next several days. 72 and sunny today. Tonight, clear 39. Tomorrow, sunshine 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 70. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back Monday, March 17th on Fox.
Celebrating the music and artists you loved on iHeartRadio over the past year and giving you an exclusive first look at the biggest new songs coming in the summer of 25.
Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish,
Glorilla, Gracie Abrams,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly.
Your host, LL Cool J.
Watch live on Fox Monday, March 17th, starting at 8 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Shop Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale. See a sleep expert and get matched with your perfect bed so you sleep better at night. You'll even get 120 nights to love it or your money back. Restrictions apply.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Wind sprints when no.
Yeah, I got one too.
The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time.
Sorry, we're back in the flow. I'm getting back in the flow. I'm trying. Anyway.
Up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. And, of course, we're heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Don't forget to set your presets, by the way. The new iHeartRadio app, they've got presets just like in your car. So you can just open the iHeartRadio app, and right there, you got our logo, ESPN Asheville. You'll have it nonstop. Things are looking up here for ESPN Asheville. If you're into live sports, including the upcoming March Madness ACC tournament, we're going to be covering all of the tournament games live on Thursday, the semifinals on Friday, and the finals coming up on Saturday night. Hopefully the Tar Heels will be involved in all of that. I got a feeling maybe they won't be, but you never know. You never know. We could we could end up having one of those magical runs like NC State went through last year. Win the ACC tournament, make it to the Final Four, and then you got an opportunity to fire your coach the next year.
Oh, you told the joke that I was. That was exactly where I was at.
Sorry, I had to take that jab. Is Kevin Keats a winner.com? Answer is
no, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. All right, time to get just a bit outside. And, I love it. I love these stories about auctions. And we got one of the biggest auctions coming up right around the corner involving sports memorabilia. Sotheby's is doing an auction, and they have two of the rarest pieces of memorabilia in sports history. They have both debut jerseys from Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, both going up for auction separately in the same auction. Would you like to take a guess at what the expected take on the two jerseys combined is?
Less than the guaranteed money for Dan Moore Jr.
Which was what?
$50.5 million.
Way less than the $50.5 million. $20 million combined. They're both expected to go for like $10 million a piece. The debut jersey from Michael Jordan, though, is funny to me because you think about like today, right? You get a high draft pick. Michael Jordan was what, the third pick in that draft?
Yes.
So he was the third pick behind Hakeem and Sam Bowie. He was the number 3 pick in the draft, and his first jersey that he wore still has little stains on it from the numbers that they took off of the old jersey. That's kind of mind-blowing to me because you would never think of an NBA team recycling jerseys in this day and age.
No, that sounds like something a WNBA team would do.
Careful, she's gonna bite them eyelashes at you, and you go get whiplash.
Hey, it's all right. They're if they don't get what they want, they're gonna sit.
Oh shucks!
And if you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have known.
What are we gonna do?
What?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
What will we do without the WNBA? Probably the same thing we do without the NBA, Major League Baseball, and a handful of other sports.
Right.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
I just thought that was wild. It's still got like old stitches from the guy's jersey that they recycled from the earlier season. For Michael Jordan, the guy who, is the greatest basketball player of all time. That was his debut jersey. Anyway, yeah, that's a chunk of change. $20 million combined estimated value for those two.
My story.
We're not in the running for those, by the way.
No, I in addition to not being the next GM of the New England Patriots, I will not be buying those jerseys. And Tank will not be clerking for Tom Tillis, who oddly enough is in my story. While I was at the combine, I met the brain trust of the North Carolina football team.
Mm-hmm.
Met them all. Mike Lombardi, his son, a couple of the Belichick sons. They were all there. Well, I just learned a odd little tidbit about how Bill Belichick got the job at Carolina. Who's the weirdest name that I could say that he called to help him get this job?
I'm gonna guess Tom Tillis.
Tom Tillis was that was step 2 in the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Okay,
not the one that he called. However, this is a high up in politics official, and no, it's not Donald J. Trump.
Tommy Tuberville.
Nope, that one would have made more sense.
In the airport.
It was Marco Rubio.
Oh, Marco. Okay.
So apparently, according to a story from ESPN, Rubio follows the sports world pretty closely. He called me and said there's a chance Belichick could come to Chapel Hill. This is Tom Tillis quote to ESPN. Tom Tillis, a congressman from North Carolina. He said he wants a school with a great academic reputation, and he wants to try to build a program to bring them a national championship. I said, well, let me go make some calls. So here's how this went. It got into Bill's head, and his first thought was, I need to call little Marco and see if he can put in a good word. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, it worked, obviously. Do you think he needed to do all of that?
No.
I mean, that was Bill's job the minute he said, I would like this.
The moment he said, the moment somebody called him and said, hey, what do you think about maybe coming to college and, coaching where your dad coached? And he went, you know what? I would consider that. That was the moment he had the job. When he said I would consider it, they went, okay, what are we going to do?
Well,
because to me, that it doesn't get better than that. You're not getting anything. The profile of North Carolina football has never been higher than it is right now. And hell, they're doing Hard Knocks.
No, they're not.
With the Carolina football team. Oh, was that fake?
No, it wasn't fake. They couldn't come to an agreement.
Oh, shoot. Oh, that was going to be so good.
Now, in the story, the thing that I'm the most sad about is that it did not say where in the pantheon of Bill's the things that intrigued Bill about this job was that at North Carolina he could find some friends for his girlfriend to play with.
Well, I mean, it's got to. I wouldn't. Bill's a smarter guy than I am, but I don't think that I would bring that into my life. I really don't. If I had a 26-year-old girlfriend, I would want to keep her as far away from college co-eds as possible.
A, she's 24, and B, I thought you were
24.
saying you wouldn't have done that, and I was about to scream liar at the top of my lungs.
No, this is mine now. This is my precious, and we will not. We will keep that for myself.
I get to have dinner. That's with a girl that's a third my age and not go to jail.
Yeah,
not many times in your life you can say that. And Bill's one of the few.
Bill's at the top of the mountain right now. He is one of the total G's of the NFL world.
I do
football world right now.
I do find it really funny that right now, if you compare the life of Bill Belichick and Snoop Dogg, they're way closer to each other than you would think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what that means? Legendary never dies. As long as you're legendary, forever. That's forever.
Bad guys live forever.
That's right. Snoop Dogg is going to be like, I mean, he's going to be so much better than like Willie Nelson. Like, you think of the coolest old person on the planet right now.
Chuck Norris.
It's probably Willie Nelson.
Oh no, it's Chuck Norris. Happy B-Day, Chucky.
Really?
By the way,
today's Chuck's birthday.
I think it was yesterday. He's 85.
Oh, wow.
And could still wear me like a hat.
I'm sure that he could. But Snoop Dogg's going to be, he's going to be that guy. He seems to just get cooler as the years go by. And I'm not real sure how that's possible.
I just love that Bill Belichick went from the nerdiest old man you've ever seen to an absolute G in about 18 months. And all he had to do was get away from Bob Kraft.
Mm-hmm. I still can't get over the NFL honors thing.
Oh, what? Where he put her in a shirt, in an Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl champions T-shirt?
And it wasn't just that. It was how he showed up after not getting an NFL job. He shows up to the award show with one of the most smoking hot women that was in that room at his side, and just flaunting the fact that he beat the hell out of all of y'all for years. And just kind of mushed it in their faces, wearing all 8 of those Super Bowl rings.
Well, he was only wearing 7 because she had on one of them.
Oh, well, I had heard that was like her cheerleading national championship ring or something that he was wearing. He was wearing his 8 Super Bowl rings, and she was wearing like a national championship ring from her cheerleading days.
Well,
or something.
then her cheerleading team had a New England Patriots logo, which, hey, I'm not telling you.
I don't know. I didn't look at the picture that long or that close, Jeremy.
Well, here's the thing. Bill Belichick won his 6th Super Bowl the same year his girlfriend won the high school cheerleading championship. I can make these jokes all day.
Yes.
I can do it all day.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Got a question about the San Francisco 49ers.
They're not going to be good if that's what you're about to ask me.
My question is, what in the hell is going on, and how do you come back from this? How do you I just can't, my mind can't wrap around what the vision is for this team.
Okay, elaborate.
It's just how are you going to field a team? Like I get that you're kind of, you're scrubbing off some of the big names. But where are you going to get your talent from? How is this team going to be competitive this year?
They're not.
Not at all.
I would say the San Francisco. All right, I'm going to name an NFC team. You tell me, and I'll go in order of how I think the NFC plays right now.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me when I get to the line that San Francisco is better than the team I just said.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions, the Washington Commanders, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm trying to think of who would even be next. The Atlanta Falcons.
Taken. Right, point taken. That's probably it.
I would take Atlanta over San Francisco 100 times out of 100, and twice.
Not even think about it. Nope. Okay, not even think about it.
Nope. But and you know what the funniest part of all of this is?
It just imploded. So yeah, I feel like it's so quickly. Right, well, you've been talking about this for years. How the drop off is coming,
mm-hmm.
and it's here. Like we're flat smack dab in the middle of it. This is like one of the most key moments in Kyle Shanahan's and John Lynch's careers.
There are a handful of builds.
How you bounce back from this is going to determine your future.
There are a handful of builds in the NFL that work. You can be a team that drafts really well and build your roster that way. You can be a team that drafts pretty well and fills in the holes with free agency dollars. You can be a team that does a really good job on the secondary market of finding guys that other teams didn't necessarily use well. New England did that for a long time. But you still have to draft well. Here's the build that doesn't work. We're going to chase high-end talent like a dog chasing cars. And the first time we miss you're going to see how thin this roster is. Oh, by the way, we have a coach that must be a taskmaster because every single year we have injury issues. That build doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, you haven't even paid Brock Purdy yet. And you're gonna. And the report I got at the Combine was it's going to be a number that will blow your mind.
The biggest fear realized. I mean, it's been my biggest fear. And we've been talking about this for 2 years now. You're going to be stuck. Since he made that Super Bowl, you're going to be stuck.
I mean, I am not a man that likes to sit back and say, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I mean, what about this is surprise? I can't figure out why it's surprising to people. How did you think this was going to age? Oh, we've got all these picks, and we keep having coaches that get tabbed as head coaches, and we get comp picks. Look at who they've used these picks on. Mm-hmm. Well, they hit on Tally Hufanga. Mm-hmm. Then they couldn't pay him.
Yep.
They hit on Drake Greenlaw. Mm-hmm. Then they couldn't pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? You got to keep hitting. They don't.
Nope.
They don't.
No more Charvarius Ward. No more Dre Greenlaw. Javon Hargrave's on his way out the door.
Hargrave's already gone. He's going to Minnesota.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He's going to Minnesota. Apparently, Minnesota. The salary cap doesn't mean anything to Minnesota. They just we're going to sign everybody in like an 8-minute period. They signed Will Freeze, Javon Hargrave, and somebody else. And now I can't now remember who it was. I mean, you don't have a quarterback, which that's going to be a problem. But I mean, you just look up and down the roster at what you go back 3 years, because I can't evaluate a draft class until 3 years out. Go back to 2022. Drake Jackson, woof. Tyrion Davis-Price, woof. Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, Samuel Womack, he was fine. You hit on Brock Purdy. Go the year before. You gave up everything for Trey Lance. Woof. Aaron Banks just signed away. Trey Sermon, whiff. I keep doing this for years and years and years. You can't be this bad drafting and think that this is going to continue. And it's funny, we have a super chat, and this ties in perfect. We actually have 2 more, but we'll get to those in just a second. This one ties in perfectly to what we're talking about right here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from Soaring Eagle. It says, congratulations, San Francisco. You're officially the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks for Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw. You're exactly right. The San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys are the same team.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to commit to the wrong quarterback. You're going to pay him an above-market deal that, 3 years from now probably won't be that bad. But you can't put anything around him. Right now, it's Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and Juwan Jennings. Oh, but we've got Christian McCaffrey. Awesome. Cool. You're the flashier Carolina Panthers circa 2020.
And think about this from C-Mac's standpoint. Like, wow, I came into this situation. We had a chance, and now I'm the Carolina Panthers again.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the other player for Minnesota was Jonathan Allen. I knew it was a defensive tackle. I just couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen. San Francisco, hard times are coming. Hard times, Daddy. Hard times.
Hard times, Daddy.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville on the eve of the opening of the NFL League year. Wrapping up all the thoughts on free agency on this. Man, good to be back here in the studio. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back at the top of the hour. Talk about those Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of chat going on about the Eagles in the YouTube chat. Be sure to check us out, thesportsocracy.com.
Wherever you are on,
and we're clear.
After the recent disaster, help is still here. For assistance with your FEMA application, reach out to make sure you get the support you need. To get in-person help, go to your nearest disaster recovery center. Found at FEMA.gov/help is here. Or call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362. Help is here.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
I'm at a smoothie bar, asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $5.
I gotta run and go get some water. I'll be right back.
So what about $5.74 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Transform lives and build futures with the NC Department of Public Safety. We're hiring statewide for positions with our Juvenile Justice Division. Visit ncdps.gov/JJDP-careers. That's ncdps.gov/JJDP-careers.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days, but at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. In these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Got a pretty simple one. Temperatures staying well above normal now as temperatures are going to soar above 70 degrees the next several days. 72 and sunny today. Tonight, clear 39. Tomorrow, sunshine 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 70. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your
Damn it!
Big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download.
I can't stop hurting myself.
Promo code RADIO to play for up to one.
Just bang my damn head on the desk trying to pick up my computer cord.
match on their first deposit and join thousands playing across.
Yeah. I'm a walking shit show over here.
Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
ESPN Asheville, your number one preset in the car, and now.
You know how many times I've knocked my brains out trying to get in the car with one foot?
I'm CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man.
I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Thoughts about your team in free agency. It's been like drinking from a fire hose of trying to sort through the deals, who's getting better, who's getting worse, who's just there's some teams that you haven't even heard anything about them, and we'll try to sort through all those. If you got a question about your team, get them into the YouTube comments, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. We do have some super chats to catch up on here, as well as some talk going on in the chat about the Philadelphia Eagles and what they have done in this offseason so far. So we will get to all of that. Just want to remind everybody that we have a new sponsor on the program. The Bears Smokehouse has joined us now as the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. So check them out at bearsbbq.com. They got a great menu. You want to go over there and check that out. They got all the TVs for your sports watching enjoyment as well. Plus, they got a big party coming up on a grand reopening party coming up on March the 29th, which Jeremy and I will be making an appearance at. I'm for real going to talk to them tomorrow about I think we need to have the mullet versus the tank in the pie eating contest. Side bet. What do you think?
I am down, but I do have reservations about what kind of pie.
Don't be picky.
Well, there's certain kinds of pie I don't like.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, is it going to kill you if you have to do like blueberry pie?
I don't like blueberries at all. I'll just take the L.
He's like, I won't participate if we're doing blueberry pie.
I got news for you. That's a fruit that I don't like, and I am not getting a blueberry and a nostril for a pie that I don't like. That's not happening.
I don't know if they let you pick your own kind of pie. We'll be finding that out tomorrow, though.
And if it's like an apple pie, is it a hot apple pie?
Well, I mean, it can't be too hot because shoving your face into it.
Like, and God forbid it's a sweet potato pie.
They usually use like some, lukewarm or room temperature pies for pie eating contests. Have you ever done a pie eating contest?
I have. I did once, but I don't remember anything about it.
I've never done one.
I've only done a handful of like
in
eating
my life,
things.
I've never done that.
There was a steakhouse down by the lake that used to do a 72. It was a 72-ounce steak, fully loaded baked potato, a side salad, a shrimp cocktail, and a dinner roll.
Mm-hmm.
And you had an hour to eat it, and I did beat that.
Wow.
Oh, by the way,
we welcome
for those that were asking through the great bubonic plague that Tank and I got. Did you lose any weight during that?
Yes, I lost 12 pounds.
I lost 47 pounds.
Holy smoke! You had a tapeworm too.
I don't know what I had.
Something else.
I weighed myself yesterday. I am at 267 pounds. Me and Shamar Stewart weigh the same amount right now.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's not exactly how I wanted to do it.
Run with it though. I don't care. Just take the momentum and run with it.
Hey, I got a 47-pound head start. Let's go all the way to 80.
Yeah, at least you got some benefit out of it, right? You could have just been sick and gotten fatter, and then where would you be?
And that would
right?
that's just losing twice.
Right. If If you gained all that weight, then maybe you'd have diabetes by now, and you wouldn't be able to participate in the pie eating contest when it comes around on the 29th over at Bear's Smokehouse in downtown Asheville, South Slope, Cox Avenue. Anyhow, we welcome Bears into the Sportsocracy family here, and of course, great to add them to the stable of our other wonderful sponsors: Ingles Supermarkets, Parks Ford of Hendersonville, and Clarissa Sells WNC.com, along with the Chainsaw Brothers as well. I haven't talked to Coley in like a month. I got to give him a call.
I haven't either. I actually thought of that yesterday.
613-1013. 613-1013. You need a tree taken down? Chainsaw Brothers. They'll get it done for you. All right, let's get back into the free agency pool here because there's, again, so much to talk about. But let's go super chat here.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, first one I see that we haven't done yet was another one from Soaring Eagle. Christian Fulton going to the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 years, $20 million, $15 million guaranteed. It's not a bad deal.
No, that's not bad. I like that one markedly better than the offensive tackle they signed yesterday. It's going to be the new left tackle who has played about 700 more snaps than I have.
I mean, is that their goal? That's the guy? That's the guy, starting left tackle? No question.
You don't give $22 million guaranteed to a guy that you're planning on putting on the bench. Kingsley Suamatea probably kicks in the guard to replace Joe Thuney if I were a betting man.
All right, who's the guy you're talking about?
Oh, what is his name?
Who was the signing?
I can't remember his name now. My computer is just dead. So at this point, I'm doing a show like it's Little House on the Prairie. I'm asking Ma and Pa. Hey, do you remember?
I saw where they added Elijah Mitchell, and I went, "Woo, that's fun." Jalen Moore.
That's it.
Jalen Moore is the tackle that you're talking about. 2 years, $30 million. So he gets $15 million a year. I mean, I guess that's starter money. Low level starter money, but starter money nonetheless.
Well, I mean, look, I get it. Left tackle in this market is BADD bad, but Laramie Tunsil was available. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Well, I mean, apparently he was. No longer is he available though. The Houston Texans trading away Laramie Tunsil. They also traded away Kenyon Green,
and
then replaced him with Laken Tomlinson.
As someone that's ridden that roller coaster, I'll go ahead and tell you, you're not gonna like it.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. We got one from Adam Scarborough.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
And Scarborough says, I haven't heard anything exciting for the Packers in free agency. Are they even trying? By the way, welcome back, boys. We appreciate it. It's good to be back.
Well, I mean, I can't say they're not trying. They've usually built through the draft. Wouldn't be shocked if they made. There's not a lot of splashes left to make. They were in on DK Metcalf. I can tell you that much.
The last thing I saw before the DK Metcalf deal got done was that the Packers, basically the way I read it was that they had whiffed. Like they went pretty hard to try to get DK Metcalf to be, and because I mean that would fill a great need. You don't have a one.
Well, Seattle asked for the 23rd
number one wide receiver.
Seattle asked for the 23rd pick and Romeo Dobbs, and once Green Bay stopped laughing, I think that kind of made the trade negotiations a little uncomfortable. It's kind of like when you ask a girl out, and she laughs until she cries. It's kind of hard for y'all to like be buddies after that. I think we have to walk away now and act like that didn't just happen.
How do you make that ask with a straight face?
I don't know. I mean, I
that's
hear
the
like,
initial, right. I hope to God that wasn't where they left the negotiation.
Well, I mean,
they started higher than that, and they got down to, okay, well, I guess we'll settle for Romeo Doubs in the 23rd pick in the first round, and that was as low as they were willing to go. Like, no.
Well, I mean, this is the same team that went to the Raiders and said, "Hey, we'll give you Geno Smith and DK Metcalf for Max Crosby."
Yep.
Yep.
I see your train of thought there.
I mean, they laughed so hard that they boo-booed in their pants. They did at least come back to the table and get the Geno Smith thing done.
Right. But couldn't get them both.
Did you want them both?
I mean,
I wouldn't have wanted them both.
It'd have been nice.
I would not have wanted them both.
If I can have a quarterback that already has a rapport with the number one wide receiver, then yeah, I'm interested in that. Why wouldn't you want them both?
Look, I'm at a point
you
where
don't have the talent to say no to that.
Look, I'm at a point with wide receivers. I've already got Brock Bowers. I've already got Jacoby Myers. I think you're going to end up with Ashton Genty out of the draft. I don't have to do any of those things. I'm good. I'll pass on the diva. There are 500 receivers in this draft class. I have undrafted. I have priority undrafted free agents on my board that would blow your mind.
But come on, I mean, it's the Raiders. I mean, that would have made perfect sense.
It would have made perfect sense
DK
with Al
Metcalf
Davis, not with Tom Brady.
Not with Tom Brady. Well, that's a good point too. I was just gonna say in the lineage of the L.A. or of the L.A., Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders, DK Metcalf fits right in with
Al Davis wouldn't have even asked Al Davis wouldn't have even asked the football people. We're doing it. They offered us that gigantic guy that runs real fast. Give them the stadium. We'll play in the parking lot. It's fine.
All right, so Packers. I mean, it's hard to it's hard to be in that position when you're a fan sitting back going, we have desperate needs, and we could be in on so many of these deals, but you're just not getting it done. And who do you blame for that? It's got to come down to the front office, and if the front office is out there trying to make dumb deals.
Well, one of the things that you have to remember, all right, so we do have two guys here that are actively trying to figure out how to make accommodations and things like that for the draft work in Green Bay. This is not an easy place to get to, and you're going to pay a premium for free agents. And look, Carolina's learning this too. Carolina's learning the hard way. Hey, when you dive into free agency, guess what? That guy that would cost, I don't know, the Jets or the Dolphins or the Patriots, that guy costs $45 million for them. He costs $54 million for you. Because you're not in a premier market. The sponsorship opportunities are not as good because you're not in as big of a media market. So I got to make the money up somewhere. I'm making the money up off of you.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say this, but in Green Bay, you're not getting a whole lot of high-end corporate sponsors. You're getting Dale's Cheese Emporium. I mean, we'll give you $50,000 and all the cheese curds you can eat.
I'm sitting there trying to think I couldn't even tell you what the biggest businesses in Wisconsin are.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're 2 hours away from Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay, Wisconsin's a geographic oddity. It's 2 hours away from everywhere. It's 2 hours away from Madison. It's 2 hours away from Milwaukee. It's 2 hours away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's have the draft there. That's a brilliant idea. I don't know who had that idea, but I hope I meet you at the draft because I swear to God, I'm going to John Cena you. I'm going to hug you, and I'm going to just kick you right in the nethers.
It's going to be great. It's one of those things that I'm glad they're spreading the wealth. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad they're taking this on the road to so many different cities.
Yeah, that's real easy coming from the guy that is doing zero of the accommodations. Hey, I hand that off to you. You find us somewhere to sleep in Green Bay because I'm tired of looking.
I do. Back seat of the Parks Ford mobile studio.
No.
Very nice, very plush. You can sleep in front seat. I'll sleep
I'll
in the back
sleep
seat.
in it happily. You're sleeping somewhere else. I heard you snoring through a wall in New Orleans. I ain't sleeping in the cab of that truck with you. Sorry, it'd be very comfortable for me. You get you a tent and sleep outside in Wisconsin in April.
That is the most pot meat kettle thing you will ever hear. Jeremy Green complaining about somebody else's snoring.
Hey, bro, I don't hear me snore. It doesn't bother me not one drop. So, your snoring's my problem. Mine is yours. So
it is a problem. It is a definite problem, for which you should seek medical help.
I have a deviated
not the
septum.
first time I've ever told you that.
I have a deviated septum. You leave me alone.
Right. Y'all ever seen the movie Heavyweights? Yeah, he sleeps like Lars. He's got that deviated septum. It sounds like he's dying, but don't be alarmed. He's fine.
Gambit fan got it exactly right. I don't hear me snoring. Therefore, I don't.
Therefore, I don't. I don't do it.
Bingo.
It's not my problem. That's your problem now. I love it.
It's kind of like my nudity. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you,
dear.
That's a you problem.
Most definitely. That is an everybody problem. Everybody's got a problem with that. You got one person. You got one person that has signed up for that ride. The rest of us are out.
Hey, just because you can't see the work of art that God created does not mean that it's not a work of art.
You put that up at auction, you get 6 cents. Not per pound. 6 cents for the lot.
That's a nickel and a penny. Spending cash right there.
Good for you. Good for you. Doing some heavy lifting on the math there. All right, I lost the other super chat. I think it was from Rob Johnson.
I've got it.
Can you find it? You got it? All right, my thing reloaded. So let's hit Rob's super chat here.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Rob said, I guess Washington is going all in on edge and defensive backs in the draft. I would not be so 100% sure of that. If you are interested in Washington and what they're going to do in the draft, you can hear me with my Commanders friends next week talking about the draft, part 2 of our Commanders draft spectaculars. I don't know how many times they're going to keep calling me, so I'm in. I'll do it every day. I don't care.
I was going to say, as long as they keep calling, you keep answering.
The answer will always be yes.
Yes.
Do this the easy way or the hard way. Choice is yours. I got your phone number now, so it's it.
All right, let's take a quick break here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Coming up after the break, we'll get into the defending champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. How have they been doing so far in free agency? We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center. Did you know that colorectal cancer is one of the...
We're clear.
Build me an extra minute here because I think my computer's going to explode if I don't do something.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Haywood
I got you covered.
Medical Center wants you to know that screening can catch it early, even before symptoms appear. If you're 45 or older, it's time to talk to your doctor about getting screened. A colonoscopy isn't just for people with symptoms. It's a proactive step to protect your health. And at Haywood Regional Medical Center, our experts are here to guide you through every step of the way. Screening is a lot easier than you'd think, and it could save your life. Don't wait. Take control of your health today. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more and to schedule your screening. That's myhaywoodregional.com, because your health is worth it. This Medical Minute brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center.
Find a career that transforms lives and builds futures. The NC Department of Public Safety is hiring statewide for positions with our Juvenile Justice Division. Visit ncdps.gov/jjdpcareers. ncdps.gov/jjdpcareers.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, nobody does balls quite like Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. Bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork, and cornbread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. I can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford, Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community Heroes, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shop.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes. Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene.
There.
Founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parks.com. Experience the Parks Promise.
You're good.
Bill.com.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self.
Okay, fair enough.
Feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, hey, Cott?
We are back in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We've got fat babies up on the YouTube stream for the moment. Jeremy's computer doing some exorcist type things right now, apparently.
Well, I may have forgotten that since we've last done a live show, I've done about 5,000 recordings that are all on my computer. When I don't have to rope you in, that doesn't really matter because then I have to rope you in, and that becomes a little problematic.
It's got to do a lot of thinking. That's the only thing. We're all getting back into the swing of things here. Great to be back here in the Sportsocracy with you live for the first time, which in what feels like 18 years, honestly. Anyhow, free agency period happening right now around the NFL. The league year doesn't start until tomorrow, but this is where they refer to this as the legal tampering era, or
the legal tampering period.
Yes. which, I mean, that doesn't really exist anymore, does it? I mean, it's all tampering, it feels like to me. I mean, hell, we've been getting word of these deals, rumors of these deals anyway, days before the official legal tampering window opens.
Well, you didn't get free agents. You couldn't talk to free agents until yesterday. That
Right.
opened at noon. And as soon as it did, that went aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the NFL changes their mind on how they.
You can't talk to their agents.
Well, I mean, you can always talk to the agents. I mean, look, Hassan Reddick signed with Tampa Bay 2 minutes after this started. I promise you they didn't just call and say, hey, Hassan, you want to sign for blank? Sure do. No, they'd already talked to the agent.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. To me, that's the same thing. I get that by league rules, it's different. But to me, talking to the agent is just like talking to the athlete.
It is what it is. I'm fine with it. I don't love that we do it this way, but it feels like the NFL alternates every other year. We do it slightly different way of, legal tampering. Oh, we're not going to announce any deals. And then free agency starts and everything goes crazy for an hour. This way, yesterday was like drinking from a fire hose, the way you said it.
Yeah.
All it does is change the day it happens. It's going to end the same way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like talking about the NBA draft trades. Same type of deal. Like,
no, that's way dumber.
Happening.
That is way dumber.
It is way dumber. I'm not saying it's equally dumb. I'm just saying it's in the same vein of stupidity. We can't really call it done right now, but we know it's going to get done as soon as 4:00 hits tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, then what are we talking about here?
We don't have anybody wearing the wrong hat right now. I can promise you that much.
Right. Yes. Philadelphia Eagles. That's what we're talking about right now. So no more Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's gone. He's going to the Arizona Cardinals. Love that deal, by the way. The Carolina Panthers, or excuse me, not the Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots.
It was the Panthers for a minute.
It was the Panthers. And then the New England Patriots, I guess, swooped in and stole Milton Williams away.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't hate that deal. I love Milton. Anybody that's been following us for a long period of time, you know that I actually have a relationship with Milton's dad. Reached out to me when he got drafted. I've always had kind of an affinity for Milton Williams. $26 million a year is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Carolina, I'm not.
After that dominating performance in the Super Bowl, you knew he was going to get that kind of
for sure. If I'm Carolina, I'm not necessarily irate that he went to New England.
Well, I mean, that was a lot to pour into another defensive lineman.
Sure. I mean, and Carolina signed several guys for the amount that they would have poured into Milton Williams.
Yes. Absolutely.
But we'll talk about Carolina in the third hour.
I mean, it's right. But I mean, with the moves the Eagles are making, I mean, I'm not worried about it. They had the talent to spare, and they have a great system in place to replace it.
They have the talent. All right, so here's the problem. The problem is that you're losing a lot of consistent production. It's not that the high side is going to be affected all that much. All right, so you take out Milton Williams. Now you're playing Jordan Davis more. You're probably going to draft a defensive tackle at some point that slides into the rotational role.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to keep hitting. With Howie Roseman, I don't worry about that all that much. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that, he's had a real good stretch. It hasn't always been that way. You say they have the talent to spare. Nobody has this much talent to spare. You can't lose this many guys.
I mean, they're going to have an opportunity to replace either of those guys in the draft, right? I mean, there are going to be guys when they come up at.
It's not that easy. I hear this. I hear what you're saying. I know you're using one of my theories. The problem is not replacing a guy. It's replacing 7. And that's where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Darius Slay actually, well, yeah, he was, because Cooper DeJean plays out of the slot. So now you actually do need another corner on the outside because you don't really have one. You got to go find one of those. I hate to tell you this, corners at the end of the first round, it's not great.
Yep.
There's a lot of, it's very specific to the kind of team you want to play or the kind of defense you want to play.
Right.
Defensive tackle, it falls off a cliff after Walter Nolan. Mm-hmm. I love Nolan. I love Mason Graham. After that, there's a big drop-off. There's a lot of guys that they can be really good in a year or two. What Jackass said in the YouTube comments is exactly right. We have no depth of rotational players. That's exactly right. And what made Philadelphia so good is that you could just roll on to the next one, and there wasn't a huge drop-off. You're not going to be able to play that way next year because these rookies are not going. All right, let's say Mike Hill-Williams falls to you at 32. If anybody can tell the problem of that, it would be you.
Yeah. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Free agency, continuing to keep us hopping here. And what off season, by the way, is the question. There ain't no off season when it comes to this time. It's draftmas time. It's free agency period. It's like, I don't know, this is like the Thanksgiving ahead of the draft. It is the free agency period, and then, this is the real kickoff to the draftmas season.
It is. The NFL schedule now is hilarious to me. Because they own literally everything. To the first week of May, you basically get the month of May, you get the month of June, you get through about the July 4th holiday. Oh, you mean that time where everybody's vacationing? The time that nobody wants anyway? The time where sitcoms and episodic shows on networks don't even run because you watch so little television that it's not worth the production cost? Oh, yeah, then in the middle of July, we crank up and do it all over again. It's almost like they did that on purpose.
Almost. We got more Super Chats to get into in the YouTube comments. Be sure to find us on YouTube, youtube.com/thesportsocracy. Subscribe to the channel so you can get your questions in as well. We'll continue the free agency frenzy when we come back.
This is your Exergen
Clear
weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Got a pretty simple one. Temperatures staying well above normal now as temperatures are going to soar above 70 degrees the next several days. 72 and sunny today. Tonight, clear 39. Tomorrow, sunshine 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 70. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back Monday, March 17th on Fox.
Celebrating the music and artists you've loved on iHeartRadio over the past year and giving you an exclusive first look at the biggest new songs coming in the summer of 25.
Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish,
Glorilla, Gracie Abrams,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly.
Your host, LL Cool J.
Watch live on Fox Monday, March 17th, starting at 8 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Nationally.
The word has been out nationally, affecting all Americans.
Globally.
The world is on fire, folks.
Locally.
This just happened across my street.
For all the happenings.
Inflation. Illegals. Homelessness.
Crime. News Radio 570 WWNC.
The new iHeart app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite. Love it.
And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bears Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, and time to get weird. And a Wisconsin mom got a hell of a surprise the other day. Body cam footage just coming out from officials after they made a house call after someone in the residence called 911. Mom answers the door, and the cops said, "Excuse me, ma'am, but we were called to a disturbance at this residence." The 4-year-old called 911 because mom ate his ice cream. And thank God that the police hopefully they didn't have more important things to do that day to go make the stop by the house to say, "Hey, we should probably make sure that the kids aren't calling 911 for frivolous reasons." Mom eating your ice cream is a new one. But hey, here as a mom, I think you would be happy to know that your kid knows how to dial up for an emergency now. You just need to do a little more explaining on what an emergency actually is. It's hard to make the 4-year-old understand it. I get it. But that had to be one of the most odd feelings in the world for that mom to open the door and here's the cops. "Hey, yeah, your son called. Stop eating his ice cream."
This is not a great segment for sugary treats because my story also about that. Did you hear about the fires that started on Long Island over the weekend?
I did not, man.
There were some wildfires on Long Island. They were trying to figure out how they started. Well, they figured it out. It was a group camping. They were trying to start a campfire to make s'mores. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're not really good at that because they tried to light everything flammable they had in their packs. From paper, cardboard, they finally settled on, let's take cardboard, put it in between some twigs, we'll light that on fire. The only problem is that they lit it on fire in their hand, burned their hand, and threw it.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yep, went into the woods, caught it on fire.
Not good.
Some people are not meant to camp. And by some people, I mean most of you. Those of you that think you're Bear Grylls, trust me, you're not.
You just got to have a little common sense. And common sense is not common.
No, it is not.
To quote our president.
It is not.
It's just so uncommon these days.
We have a lack of that. It's very sad. It's a huge problem in this country as it sits today. But I'm bringing it back.
All right, we've got another super chat to get to in the YouTube comments here.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And Soaring Eagle with another one. He says, I'd say you two, he's talking to us. I'd say you two evenly one-upped each other in the misery scale yesterday. Tank gets to deal with Hassan Reddick's Diva Keister, and Jeremy gets to deal with Justin Fields as his quarterback.
I guess we can't avoid talking about this any longer, can we?
We can't. First up, let's talk about Justin Fields going to the Jets, because I thought you were joking yesterday when we were on the phone and you said something flippant about, well, I guess we're getting Justin Fields, because I hadn't seen that yet. And then about 10 minutes after you mentioned it to me, it came across that Justin Fields is getting signed by the New York Jets. And I believe that this is just the football gods. This is football karma looking at you and going, I'm going to give you a problem. I'm going to give you a problem because you have enjoyed making fun of my quarterback so much that they're giving you your own. Not to, I mean, and it's just kind of a pile-on at this point because Aaron Rodgers was god-awful as your quarterback. Stats weren't terrible, but that was bad.
Well, it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers. That whole team was a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tank, I'm gonna harken back to days gone by. Do you remember when we were doing a Saturday show and Willie Taggart had his first opportunity at Florida State against Boise State?
I remember that day well, yes.
Yeah. And in the first half, it looked like that offense was going to average 76 points a week. They scored 35 in the first half, I think. They were 35-6 or 35-9 or something like that. Yep. They found a way to lose to Boise State at home. And I told you, I don't think I have ever seen an administration for any of my teams where the zeal fell off that rose as quick as Willie Taggart. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are really giving it a run for its money. Aaron Glenn looked me dead in the face at the combine and said, we are all about character guys. Small programming note, I will be doing a handful of Jets podcasts. Our Facebook, which has returned, triumphant return after 41 days into the ether. We finally got that figured out yesterday.
Nice.
You'll be able to find those on our social media. I'll link them back through Facebook and Instagram. Aaron Glenn looked me dead in the face and said, we want guys that are 1 to 53 guys. The quarterback is not more important. He was very confrontational. It was very uncomfortable because he didn't want to talk about the quarterbacks. Okay. Then you go out and sign a guy that the most recent thing I remember him saying to the media was how he was already a top 5 running quarterback in the NFL when he has not done squat. And you gave him $20 million a year to do it. $30 million total guaranteed. See how those two things don't play with me? You see how those two things don't make a whole lot of sense to me?
Uh-huh.
You didn't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. You didn't want to talk about Tyrod Taylor, but you're all in on Justin Fields. Make that make sense to me. Because I can't.
I can't make it make sense. Wish I could help you out with that, but I cannot. It's just same old Jets kind of luck when I look back at it, and I know you feel the same way. Like, okay, so we had Sam Darnold at one point, and now he's turned into a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got Aaron Rodgers, who we thought was going to be a thing, but that was about as bad as it was before he got here. Everything, every step of the way has been some new struggle, some new con. And now Justin Fields makes it hard. It makes it hard.
it is hard for me to look at this with any kind of rose-colored glasses. Now, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, here is where I can do it. The loudest voice in the room pushing for Justin Fields was Garrett Wilson. They played together at Ohio State. They had a really good rapport at Ohio State.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson is the best player on this team. Tim and Quinn Williams and Quincy Williams.
Yes.
I don't know what you could have done that was going to be better, and here's why I say that. You couldn't bring back Aaron Rodgers. You already burned that bridge. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold's not an East Coast guy. I mean, I told you this was coming. What up, Sam? I tried to tell all of you he's not signing on the West Coast or on the East Coast. He was going to as close to the West Coast as he could get. I did not think it would be Seattle, and that did develop quickly. where else were you supposed to turn? Could you go into next year with Tyrod Taylor as the only option?
No.
So what else were you supposed to do? Draft Jackson Dart at 7? I would have preferred that. I'll go ahead and tell you I would have preferred that.
To Justin Fields?
Yes.
Okay.
It would have immediately alienated your star receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, all these people are talking about him getting traded. He ain't getting traded. The minute Aaron Rodgers walked out the door, he was hunky-dunky. Source him. Source his own mouth.
His own mouth.
Yeah, I was on a Zoom call with some Jet guys, and one of them had interviewed him, and he said, "Oh, no, I'm good. Now that Aaron's gone, I'm good."
Mm-hmm.
That was how bad that relationship was, and how bad he did not like playing with Devontae Adams because he felt like he was second in the pecking order. And you know what? To a point, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're throwing a dart, no pun intended, with Justin Fields. What's the worst that can happen? Just and I'm playing solely devil's advocate here. I'm not telling you this how I feel. I'm just trying to sound it out myself. What's the worst that can happen here?
Well, I mean, the worst that can happen is he comes in, he's bad, and you move on in a year.
Okay. So he comes. How bad's bad?
I mean, like Daniel Jones bad.
Okay. Daniel Jones bad. You go what next year? 4-13?
Something like that.
Well, guess what? You're going to have another crack at a quarterback next year.
Yes.
Justin Fields will then be basically a $10 million backup in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Daniel Jones just signed for $17 million.
Right.
He got $14 million guaranteed.
Right. Wins and losses, I mean, that's as bad as it could be. The worst part probably is that this turns into, Baker Mayfield North. If he comes in and they're just good enough to keep doing this.
It's funny you said that, because what is the difference between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Jets?
Well, I mean, there are many differences. I'm not sure which one you're looking for.
The one I'm specifically looking for is one of our defenses sucks and the other one doesn't.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point.
If Justin Fields does the Baker Mayfield thing, the New York Jets are going to be what you thought they were. They're not a Super Bowl contender. Don't let me. I'm not going down that path.
Right.
But that team would be 8-9, 9-8, maybe even 10-7. Compete for a playoff berth. That's better than it's been in 15 years. If Justin Fields can do that, I'll sign off on it right now. I don't think he can. I think you're going to see him run a lot.
But if he does that, then that locks you in. He gets you back to the playoffs, then you're giving him a multi-year deal. I mean, he's getting like a 4-year contract for probably stupid money. Just because that's what the market will bear or next year.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Okay.
I think they baked that in. I haven't seen the specifics. I'll have the specifics tomorrow.
Right.
So by the time we kick this show off at noon tomorrow, I will have the full Justin Fields deal. I am curious how much of that guaranteed money is this year, because I'll bet you it's a lot of it. I'll bet you that deal is incredibly front-loaded. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was $25 million in year one, $15 million in year two.
Right.
And they just look at him and go, you know what? If it's good in year one, you're going to have to prove it in year two. Because that's 1 year that is kind of a blip. I don't like the fit. I don't like the fit in the offense. I really don't like any of it, to be honest with you. But the more I thought about it, the more I got to a point of, what else were you going to do? You're going to trot out a 35-year-old quarterback that's won, I believe, 12 games in his career. I remember 21. I remember a 2 and a 1. It's either 12 or 21.
And
in New York City. And that's what you're going to go into the season with. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized a new GM can't do that. A new GM can't do that. A new head coach can't do that. So you are either going to have to get – I'll put it this way. I am much better with giving Justin Fields a 1-year tryout than I was taking Shedeur Sanders at 7. Which now, seeing that they've signed Justin Fields, I will say Shedeur was more on the board than I thought. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, I can almost guarantee you that some of those comments that you were hearing about from quarterbacks coaches, one of those two teams that were talking about it, Shedeur had rubbed them the wrong way, was the Jets. I'm almost to the point I would bet my life on that.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm close. I'd bet probably every earthly possession I have.
All right, Sir Jimothy's got a super chat here we'll get to real quick.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
His 17th month member chat. Thank you for that. Longevity, that's what we love about you guys. Stick around. Stay involved. Sir Jimothy says, Justin Schuyler Jets Fields. Still funny. Did you call him that during the break or something?
No, it's my take on adding fictitious middle names.
Oh, gotcha.
I just
Schuyler.
With Fields, I don't get it because I don't think you can win with a quarterback who's mechanically this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this inconsistent. I also look at what the Jets have. And this is another thing that was kind of pointed out to me by some of my Jets guys, is if you look at the offensive line for the Jets, it's ready-made for a running quarterback because you've got Olafashinu, who is mobile for his size. You have Elijah Vera Tucker, who is a hyper-mobile offensive lineman.
Right.
And you got Joe Tippmann, who is really good at the next level. I get it, I guess, to a point. It's better than going in with no hope at all. I don't have much more hope with Fields than I would have had with Tyrod Taylor. But it is more hope. Anything is still more than zero. And I guess that's the thought. I was shocked when I found out that the Steelers' offer to Justin Fields was actually closer than I thought it was. I was shocked that Justin Fields didn't go back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
With DK Metcalf and George Pickens and
But do you I mean if you're looking at it from his perspective, maybe that was enough. Maybe having Garrett Wilson there was enough.
And it very well could be.
Here, if I'm successful with the New York Jets, and I can do it with, I mean, I don't know what their relationship is like, but I imagine it's real good if Garrett Wilson was beating down the door
they're
of
very
GM's
close.
office going, I need the, you need to bring my guy in here. Then I would imagine that's reciprocated from Justin. And if you got that opportunity to go to the number one media market in the country and possibly resurrect a franchise with one of your best friends from college, it's hard to say no to, especially when the money's comparable.
They were very close. I mean, I don't know where they're at now. I know they were close at Ohio State.
Right. So, I mean, those relationships carry on for quite a while. I mean, you've been on a team with the guys. I mean, you go to war with guys, and that's a relationship that lasts forever. And a relationship like that, like I said, that you look at it, that's a hell of an opportunity for Justin.
Now,
I mean, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think he's going to be a great starter in this league. I don't know how he's going to fit into that offense. That's more down your speed, and you already say that's not that great. Doesn't help me jive with this was a good move for the Jets, but Justin Fields, I think this is the best move he could have made.
It was the only opportunity he had in terms of you're going to come in as really the unquestioned starter.
Mm-hmm.
This was the only one.
Oh, of course it is.
And they made that very clear from the jump.
Yeah.
Tennessee was not in on Justin Fields.
Right.
Tennessee, by the way, now this is a much bigger topic, but I look at Tennessee, who I know for a fact is not sold on Cam Ward, and now you're going to have to take him at one. You don't have anything else. You can't go into another season with Will Levis as your only quarterback. You just can't do it.
We'll tell you what. Let's take the top of the hour break. When we come back, we'll let you dive down that path. Let's take a look at the draft and what free agency has changed specifically about some of the strategies at the top of the 2025 NFL draft coming up in April. Green Bay, Wisconsin. That'll be our next trip. And it's going to be a long drive up to Wisconsin, I can tell you that. But Couldn't ask for better wheels with the Parks Ford Mobile Studio. We'll be back right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
These times of massive inflation have
Clear.
like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Got a pretty simple one. Temperatures staying well above normal now as temperatures are going to soar above 70 degrees the next several days. 72 and sunny today. Tonight, clear 39. Tomorrow, sunshine 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 70. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
Transform lives and build futures with the NC Department of Public Safety. We're hiring statewide for positions with our Juvenile Justice Division. Visit ncdps.gov/JJDP careers. That's ncdps.gov/JJDP careers.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her equipment and her customers happy and healthy.
All right.
Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ESPN Asheville, your #1 preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere you go. On the iHeartRadio app, you can see us everywhere on the YouTubes. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, NFLDraft.net. Jeremy's lovely little new project here. How's things going with the website, man? It's looking awesome.
We're chugging along. Big board is done. If you're watching this on the YouTube here momentarily, you'll be able to see the first of many draft evals that will be up from myself. Just a little pros and cons. I'm not one that gets really lost in like minutia, because I feel like the average person that really deep dives into the draft with us, you're not looking for me to tell you how a guy bends. I mean, some of you are, but in large part, you want to know one thing. This guy that's coming to my team, can he play? Yes or no? That's really all you need from me. And so that's what we're going to try to give. And we're going hard in the paint. We got a lot of fellers on the old draft board this year.
That's all we expect. We expect if Jeremy's going to go, we know he's going to go hard in the paint. He doesn't leave any opportunity unwasted or wasted opportunities here.
Never half-ass anything. Whole-ass one thing. That's
whole-ass one thing.
I live by that. It's a philosophy of mine, if you will.
Very good. NFLDraft.net, your central source for at ESPN Draft Nerds takes on the prospects in the upcoming NFL draft and how free agency is reshaping the thoughts on the draft. The official, post free agency mock draft is coming soon. We can all bet on that. As soon as some of the dust settles, we're going to get a better picture of exactly what this looks like. But right now, going into the draft, I mean, you talked about it just a little bit before the break there, Jeremy, of the Tennessee Titans. They're kind of locked in at #1 with Cam Ward. And the question is, is that what they wanted?
Well,
or is this a necessity pick?
Well, Andrew Adams has a really good point. According to Nashville Sports Radio, and I've heard a few of these things as well, people are saying Will Levis thinks he knows everything. He doesn't listen. He's got a bad attitude. That was a knock on him coming into the draft. I think
this guy puts mayonnaise in his coffee, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, I just think it's a really bad marriage with him and Brian Callahan. He doesn't fit the system. This is not the regime that drafted him. I can tell you, source, trust me, bruh, the Titans did make a run at Sam Darnold. I don't think it. I know it. I can confirm it. They did. It was there. Sam wasn't interested. Sam did not want to go to the East Coast. That was their plan A. Their plan B was Aaron Rodgers. The problem is they didn't think Pittsburgh was going to be a competitor. They didn't think the Giants were going to be throwing stupid money. They didn't think that a lot of things were going to happen. Now it seems like Rodgers is probably more committed to Pittsburgh. You get to a certain point where you just look around and go, well, we're out of seats.
Mm-hmm.
We have a seat, but there's nobody to sit in it. And I don't think you can go into this year with Will Levis as your quarterback. Now, what I will tell you, and this has been getting louder in the last handful of days, Tennessee wants to trade down. Definitively. I don't think you're going to have the opportunity. I don't think anybody is coming up because I don't think anybody's in love with Cam Ward. Usually by this time, once we come out of the combine and we get through this period, I can point at a team and go, they're in love with the quarterback. They will do whatever it takes to go get him. I don't see that here. I don't. I don't see. I think the Giants are in love with Shedeur Sanders. Now, does anybody see the irony that I was the guy that's been screaming this for a month? And if you look at any mock draft that's come out today, hey, guess who's going 3? That's the same guy I've been trying to tell you was going there forever.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cam Ward's going 1 or 2. His drop dead spot's the Cleveland Browns. I don't think the Browns would take Shedeur Sanders. I think that's why they traded for Kenny Pickett, because they looked around and went, ooh, this is not good. We've got to have somebody that can play for a year. The Cleveland Browns know they're not good. They know it. What doesn't make a whole lot of sense is that they looked at Myles Garrett and went, we're going to pay you a gajillion dollars instead of stacking draft capital. It screams of 2 guys trying to save their jobs, which is Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski.
Right.
I don't see
those seats have been warm for the last 3 years.
Not as warm as you think. Every year that I go to NFL events, it blows my mind that there's no heat from Cleveland people on Kevin Stefanski. That is all us saying that Cleveland should be better than they are. They don't view it that way. So I'm not going to say Stefanski is safe enough to just bypass a quarterback. I will say he is safe enough to not take the wrong quarterback.
Yep.
But that part has not changed. Cam Ward's going 1 or 2. What I heard at the combine was Tennessee was all in on Abdul Carter. They were going to sign a quarterback. They haven't done that. Now there are none left. So I'm not sure that their mindset has changed as much as the market has changed. If that happens and Cam Ward goes 1, it makes everything else go completely cattywampus.
Yep.
Because then Abdul Carter goes 2. What do the Giants do at 3? Oh, yeah, they want Shedeur Sanders. Who's the team competing with them? There's not one. So why would I not trade down to 6 with the Raiders and let the Raiders jump up and get Travis Hunter?
Right.
I floated that to 2 very high-end NFL people this morning, and we were on a Zoom call. They both looked at each other and went,
Well, why would Cleveland not go Travis Hunter?
Because you already have corners. You need an edge rusher on the opposite side of Myles Garrett, and Abdul Carter is almost universally looked at as a better prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I agree with that doesn't matter.
Hunter?
Yes, than Hunter. Okay. A lot of people feel like Hunter is a really good player at 2 positions, and if you're not going to use him at 2, then Abdul Carter's an elite edge.
Okay.
No Smile said the Giants take Hunter. I'll bet they don't. You can take my word for it, or it's totally up to you. I'll bet they don't.
If they don't have a quarterback, they better.
They will take Shedeur Sanders over Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Period. That's not even debatable from everything I heard at the combine. Now, if Shedeur and Cam Ward went 1-2, which I do not see a path that happens, unless Tennessee falls in love with Shedeur, which they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they become that way. Maybe the scouts get involved and it changes the next 6 weeks. I don't know. But the Giants, I can tell you definitively, would not take Hunter over Shedeur. If those 2 were gone and it was Hunter or Abdul Carter, then yes, they would take Hunter over him. But look at how these teams have spent their money. I mean, it really shows you a lot. New England Patriots. All right, I've had Will Campbell slotted in at 4 to them forever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice what they didn't throw money at? Offensive lineman. Your offensive line's a joke. They sign one? Nope.
Moses?
Who plays right tackle exclusively. You need a left tackle. You need a blindside protector. You had all the money in the world. And where did you spend it? You spent it on the defense. You signed a defensive tackle. You signed an edge. You signed a cornerback. You signed a linebacker. You signed a right tackle. You signed a big wide receiver on the outside that can block. What does that tell you?
Carlton Davis. That was the
corner.
Of the pickups that that was a pickup that somebody had mentioned earlier in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, I think that was it hit the super chat button. That was a
was it a super chat? Okay. All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It was Soaring Eagle that said, I got an under the radar signing we should talk about, and that was the Patriots signing Carlton Davis. I don't know how under the radar it is. You gave a corner $20 million.
It's just a move that's not being talked about, and I could see why you're being excited about it. I mean, Carlton Davis, he's not the greatest in the world, but he's a hell of a two.
He is all right. So to the point that I was trying to make here, he's a hell of a two. You're right. All right. So the Patriots went out and spent $20 million a year, a whole mess of guaranteed money on a number 2 corner. What does that tell you? They picked 4. It basically takes a guy completely off the board, and that's Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Yep.
Because why would you draft Travis Hunter to just be a wide receiver?
You wouldn't.
I mean, honestly, why would you do that? Because he's not worth the 4th pick in the draft as just a receiver. Mm-hmm. He's not worth just the 4th pick in the draft as just a corner. He's worth it as both. If you look at New England, he doesn't have a spot to play. You're paying high-end money to Carlton Davis. You drafted Christian Gonzalez, who might be the best player on your team. And you've got Marcus Jones that plays in the slot and has been pretty good at it. Travis Hunter doesn't have a place to play. So that tells you one of two things. Either they're not completely bought into him, or they don't think he'll be there. There's no way for me to know which one they're thinking. I don't see a way he's not there at 4. I've tried this every different combination I can come up with, and I can't find one. Which then leads to, hey, Jacksonville, they signed a corner. There's a guy that plays in the slot. Man, they really need an outside. Oh, I see where this is headed.
He falls to
5. Travis Hunter falls to 5. Now you can play him sparingly because you added De'Ami Brown, who's not a full-time starter. He's just not. You watch him over his time in Tennessee. He's just not. Gabriel Davis is not. But you can sprinkle in Travis Hunter, and he plays on the outside. You can move Jerry and Jones to safety because he played that at Florida State. And now it makes everything make sense because you let Andre Sisco walk out the door. I'm not telling you this is infallible. But if you think a front office like Jacksonville, who was the last team in the NFL to hire their GM, it was the last team in the NFL to get all of their things in place. So it means they're behind the 8 ball because they're not even 100% comfortable with the guys on their own team. And they come out and they're very aggressive in free agency. It means they either don't like the roster or there is something specific that they're omitting that they feel like they can add in the draft. And all signs point back to Travis Hunter.
That they do.
All signs in New England point to Will Campbell. All signs in New York point to Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
All signs in Cleveland point to they're not going to get the quarterback they want, which is why they just gave up a 5th-round pick for Kenny Pickett. How many quarterbacks do you need? You gave up on Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Why? Because he doesn't fit. What do you think you're going to have Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, and Cam Ward on this roster? No, they figured it out. Cam Ward's going 1. We're going to take Abdul Carter at 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's your top 5 as of right now, unless something changes.
Yep. And then we have one of the most terrifying bookends at edge rusher with Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett.
Now, the funny thing is, the only wrench that you could possibly get in that is that the Raiders trade up to 3, the Giants fall back to 6, and still get Shedeur Sanders. Because nobody has the huevos to trade up for Shedeur Sanders. Because he is both intriguing and terrifying at the same time.
And I'm just looking through trying to figure out who that could possibly be. I mean, like the New Orleans Saints, are they trading
No
up
way.
to try to make a run?
No way.
Going from like 9 to 5 with Jacksonville?
The New Orleans Saints are trying to switch to a modified front, and I didn't believe it until they gave the money to Chase Young. I thought they were going to look at the talent and go, we have 4 3 pieces. That's just all there is to it. We have 4 3 pieces. Brandon Staley can want to play 3-4 all he wants to. We don't have those players. Then you gave $17 million a year to Chase Young. That is a guy that I know can stand up if he has to. Not great in coverage, but he can stand up if he has to. And then I start looking around the guys you've let walk and the guys that you've pursued, whether you sign them or not. Oh, I know what you're doing. New Orleans is not going to trade up for a quarterback. They know they're not there. No matter how delusional their GM is. They have enough pieces that they've got to add to be able to even run a 3-4 front. Not be good at it, to be able to do it. Because you don't have the pieces. So, I mean, at 9, they're taking a defensive player. It's just a question of who. Shamar Stewart's the one that jumps off the board to me, but it's because you can use him in different places. James Pierce makes sense. Mike Green makes sense if you can get over the character issues.
Yep.
The team that I feel the worst for is the Carolina Panthers. Because this draft started as not falling your way. Then it looked like, well, but okay, just things are moving. Then you invested your free agency dollars, and I'm looking around going, you're going to get stuck with Tetairoa McMillan at 8.
Why is that stuck, though?
The 40. I mean, look, there are services that we all use that you can clock a guy's miles per hour and figure out exactly how fast he is because you start averaging these things out. There are people that think Tetairoa McMillan can't run faster than 4.7. I've read this book. His name was Mike Williams. He played for the Detroit Lions, and it was an absolute abject disaster because he couldn't separate. He got to the NFL and was trying to play power forward at all times. And, yeah, there's a fear of that with Ted.
Do you imagine it going that way?
I have Tetairoa McMillan
you
at
waxed
18.
Poetic about when he was at Arizona, so I
loved him at
trying
Arizona.
To get your feel on him.
I loved him at Arizona, but you also have to remember how many Pac-12 players and now Big 12 players have I talked about. What was the level of competition? Tetairoa McMillan was a gigantic wide receiver. I mean, he came in at 6'4", 6'4", 6'4", I think. So, I mean, 6'4.5". He's a big guy. I was at his media availability. He's taller than I am. And I like what he did, but you have to look at the level of competition. And so if he's running a 4.7, yeah, that's a problem. And then he didn't run, and now there's a rumor that he's not going to run at Arizona's Pro Day. If he doesn't run at Arizona's Pro Day, I'll bet you anything you want he doesn't go in the top 15.
I was going to say, if that is a concern and he doesn't do it, then his draft stock will reflect that. I don't think Carolina is run by morons anymore. That's out the window.
I don't disagree with you.
So I don't think you're stuck with anything. Would you like a wide receiver there? Sure. If there's not one there, though, I don't feel like this leadership that they have now with Dan Morgan running the show and the coaching staff that they put together with Canales and the gang. I don't think that they're gonna screw this up.
All right, where do you go? Because you got Dan Morgan. Now I'm going to give you a little background here. You got Dan Morgan that's screaming character at the combine. Over and over and over and over and over again. Him and Canales both.
Right.
All right, so you get to 8. You need a pass rusher. There's only 2 really there that make sense. For what you do, there's only 2 that make sense. So James Pierce or Mike Green.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you mean the 2 guys that we've been crucifying for character for the last, month? So you either better find a way to debunk that, or you're going to have to start walking back all this character stuff. Because, it does make you look like an idiot. By hook or by crook, it doesn't matter what I think about Mike Green or what I think about James Pierce. Because here's what can happen. This is the reason I've been so angry about the James Pierce thing. Because I have called and nobody will confirm it. Mike Green, That's a different ball of wax. I can't confirm it. I can't deny it either. James Pierce is an immature kid. Okay, that's all well and good. There are rumors out there everywhere that he was hard to coach at Tennessee. He's the worst character guy in the draft. All these teams don't have him on the board. You take him at 8. You take him at 8 at the end of April. He comes in for minicamp. He goes back to, I mean, he's from Charlotte. So I don't know exactly where he lives, but I'm assuming he lives in Charlotte now, would live in whatever city he went to. If he got drafted by the Panthers, I would assume it'd be Charlotte.
Right.
He gets busted for a DUI, and this is just a devil's advocate. He gets busted for a DUI in July. How stupid do you look?
Mm-hmm.
Not because, and it could all be a lie. None of these things about James Pierce could be true. Does not change the public perception.
Sure.
You screamed character. You drafted a guy that had questionable character. He gets popped for something 2 months after you draft, and you're fired a year from now.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I mean by stuck.
Bad. Sure, it could go that bad.
That's what I mean by stuck. You can trade down and take the player.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sit there and take it. Shamar Stewart, he's too raw. Shamar Stewart can work for the Saints because they're not on a timeline of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole new foundation. I was trying to delay the cough until the break. It just didn't work.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. But what kind of, what kind of pressure is Dave Canales really under right now?
Well, you're in year 2. You got to take a step forward defensively, which is why you just spent all that money.
Yep.
You just spent a bunch of money on your defense. If that defense isn't better next year, you're in trouble anyway. With something that Dave Canales has, I'll say, minimal involvement in.
Sure.
The offense can be fine. If the defense is still terrible, you're on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
How often do we see coaches get fired in year 3? You go 5-12 again, you're on the clock.
I would say it's unlikely.
This is the problem.
First, I think it's unlikely that they're going to be that bad again. There was a lot of promise the last 6 games of the season.
I
Bryce
agree with
Young
everything
coming
you just
around
said.
and them scoring points and the offense moving. It doesn't make the defense look that bad when your offense can put points up. I mean, hell, they've been playing the shadow game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kept that coach well employed and extended, in fact. So, I mean,
that coach also has a Super Bowl ring as a defensive coordinator.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, there's nothing right now that leads me to believe that there is any kind of pressure on Dave Canales.
Oh, there's not right now, but in a year there can be.
Could be.
Oh, and by the way, you said I don't think there's any way they'll be that bad next year.
Yeah.
You taking a look at that Panthers schedule? You looked at who they play. You got the 6 games. You got the 6 games in your division. At home, you play the Rams, Seahawks, Bills, Dolphins, and Cowboys. You tell me what team that I just said they're going to be favored against. I don't care if you bring in Lawrence Taylor at 8. Name me the team I just said they're going to be favored against.
Dolphins.
You're out of your gourd. The Dolphins will be a touchdown favorite against Carolina Panthers because you can't stop them over the top. Even the defense is better, it's not going to be great. And you're going to have to deal with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill with 1 corner. There's no shot you're favored over the Dolphins. Oh, by the way, here's who you play on the road. You have to go to the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Jets and the Patriots, the Packers and the Jaguars. There might be 3 wins in that.
Sure.
I'm just telling you, the schedule doesn't lay out well for Carolina. And all of these things play into each other. Dan Morgan's got traction because he did really well in the draft last year. There's a great belief around the NFL that he's spending the free agency dollars well.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to unravel that. You make one really bad false step, you can unravel everything you've done. That's what I mean by stuck.
Okay. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
If you applied to FEMA, stay in touch.
And we're clear.
The support you need. To get help with your FEMA application, visit FEMA.gov/help is here or call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362.
Okay.
Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation.
All right. No worries.
14 locations across North Carolina, specializing in short-term rehabilitation and long-term care. Our team is ready to support your loved one, providing the compassionate care they need for whatever lies ahead, from physical and occupational therapy to individualized long-term support. Discover the ways Sandstone provides compassionate care for all at sanstonehealth.com.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Find a career that transforms lives and builds futures. The NC Department of Public Safety is hiring statewide for positions with our Juvenile Justice Division. Visit ncdps.gov/jjdpcareers. ncdps.gov/jjdpcareers.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, betrpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 1,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit and join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I'm Tank Spencer coming to you live from the Ingles studio. And he is, of course, Jeremy Green at ESPN Draft Nerd, coming to us live from the NFLDraft.net Mullet Manor. Free agency. A lot
it's a little
to
toasty
unpack.
in the manor today.
It is. It's toasty in the studio right now.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that it's 814 degrees in that studio. I was there the other day. It was like 40 degrees outside. It was 77 degrees in the studio.
Yes, it is. It is very, very warm in the studio here, despite the fact that I've got the door propped open. By the way, if you have an infirmed person in your office or wherever you work, how about leave some doors open for that person? Because if you're going to leave me in this building by myself with one leg, I would really love it if somebody could prop some doors open for me. I take my life into my own hands every time I have to go cut through an office somewhere.
I opened the doors for you when I was there the other day. So
yes, you did. Yes, you did. And it's great when there's somebody around, right? Everybody's very nice about opening the door. Let me get that door for you, Tank. You need me to carry your backpack, Tank? Do you need to, you need some water before I leave the room or something? I'll be glad to go get you. Everybody's fantastic in that respect. But like all weekend long, we were covering the SoCon basketball tournament the men's basketball tournament here on the iHeartRadio network, on ESPN and on WWNC. We did, 4 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. I was here by myself for most of it, and that's my one big gripe of my perfect establishment right now is an establishment with no doors.
Well, I mean, I had to walk through a crowd of Furman Paladin fans yesterday to get a box for you. And Chris Smith pointed out to me that, hey, why did he not tell you there's a door right there that leads to right here?
I did not know there was a door right there.
I'll show it to you. It makes that a lot more pleasant.
Okay, good. You should have seen me last year, toting that thing through the crowd and through the stands. I was like, there's got to be an easier way to get here.
Chris,
so I'm glad to know that there is now.
Chris, that's he's the head of the sports commission here.
Yes.
And does a fantastic job. Mm-hmm. He and I were talking last night at the 2025 Ingalls SoCon basketball championships that all of the things that went into all of the things he was trying to do to make the tournament bigger. Mm-hmm. You talk about me thinking 3-dimensional chess. That dude makes me look like I'm rubbing 2 sticks together trying to start a s'more.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. All the things he was like, well, we could do this, and that would lead to this. And I finally just stopped him. I went, Chris, I'm too stupid to talk to you.
Chris is a very smart guy. Chris Smith, he is the executive director, I believe is his title, of the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission. He's been a guest on this program here several times throughout the years. It's always great to see an organization make a smart move, like bringing a guy like Chris Smith in to run the show. He has been on top of it ever since he got that job. He used to be the GM of the Asheville Tourists, the baseball team here in town. He is a hell of a professional, a hell of a Tar Heel, and we're glad to know him. That staff continues to do wonderful things with all of the sporting events that we get to host here in Asheville, putting together those packages and landing these things that will bring an economic boom to a city that, well, we're in a position now where we're obviously have taken a setback with the hurricane hitting here in September, and it means more. Everybody who's chipping in to make these events bigger, to bring people back into the city, we owe them a lot. They are doing a great job with it at the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission. Him and Madison Davis putting things together, and then with the support of all of the local organizations that help make that a bigger thing.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I know you didn't stay.
Basketball.
I know you didn't stay for you were unable to stay for the game last night because, well, you and your wheelie scooter.
You were lucky I showed up.
Oh,
I'll put it that way. The way my foot was feeling yesterday, I knew I had to show up, but it was close.
For sure. And I appreciate that. That's laying out for the cause. I do want it stated that not only did I carry that box through the stadium, I also carried it to your car. So
yes,
all the people that say, well, Jeremy's a jackal, not always. I will say this. Last night, sitting in that arena, watching just how packed that place was, how loud that place was, it didn't look like we had just gone through a hurricane just a few months ago.
Right.
And that's a credit to Ingalls, and that's a credit to the Sports Commission. And I'm not going to lie to you, I took it in with about the under 8 timeout. I just kind of looked around and went, how incredible is it that those 2 entities specifically, because they're so hands-on with this event, were able to do this and house this many people that didn't even know they were going to be here maybe 48 hours ago. Because there was a 5 and a 6 seed. I don't know if you know much about college basketball tournaments. That is not how they want that to go. Honestly, that is like the worst case scenario. Watch the West Coast tournament last night. Just throwing this out there, about 9 people there.
Right.
To be able to do that is such a credit to Ingalls and to Chris Smith and the work they do with the Buncombe County Sports Commission. It was dumbfounding to me.
they do a great job each and every year, and Asheville is, there's a reason the Southern Conference keeps coming back year after year after year. We are the home of that tournament, have been the home of that tournament. I think it's like 28 out of the last, I think they were gone for like 5 years, so the last 43 years that tournament has been here in Asheville, and it just keeps getting better and better. And we owe a lot to them for putting that on, getting the job done. Another great job by everybody. It was another successful weekend of broadcasts here on the iHeartRadio network with Richmond Weaver from Fox Sports Upstate and Doug Maurer making his I called it his swan song, his Asheville swan song, because if you haven't heard, Doug Maurer, who was the voice of the Asheville Tourists, he's taken a job down to work for the Charlotte Knights now. So he's gone from single A ball up to triple A ball and is moving on up. But I told him, you better mark this down every year because I need you back here to keep doing these SoCon games. Those guys are just great professionals. It's amazing how two guys with such great talent can come in and just pick up like they've been doing it all year long with each other. Those guys just put on a fantastic show for us during the SoCon tournament, so I want to thank those guys for that as well. We'll get back into the NFL free agency talk, plus the most important message of the day coming up after the break right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 in the Sportsocracy.
This is your
Clear.
weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Got a pretty simple one. Temperatures staying well above normal now as temperatures are going to soar above 70 degrees the next several days. 72 and sunny today. Tonight, clear 39. Tomorrow, sunshine 75. Thursday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 70. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stachik.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards are coming back Monday, March 17th on Fox.
Celebrating the music and artists you've loved on iHeartRadio over the past year and giving you an exclusive first look at the biggest new songs coming in the summer of 25.
Bad Bunny, Billie Eilish,
Glorilla, Gracie Abrams,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly.
Your host, LL Cool J.
Watch live on Fox Monday, March 17th, starting at 8 p.m.
And listen on iHeartRadio stations across America and the free iHeart app.
Asheville Smiles has been featured in national publications like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. And check out this 5-star Google review. My dental experience was wonderful. I cannot say enough about Dr. Merrill and her amazing team at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Dr. Merrill took time to explain everything. She made me feel relaxed and confident that I was in good hands. I apologize for those tears at your office. Those were tears of joy. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Dr. Merrill, for the hope to get my smile back. Check out Asheville Smiles online at ashevillesmiles.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 20 seconds.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Yeah, we are back in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And, it's, I forgot. It's, all right, so sometimes you mess up and you make a bad call. That was a bad call on my part because it's time for the most important message of the day. All right, it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green, which is... Yes, don't do crimes. All right. Rare sight in Macomb County, Michigan the other day where, somebody's driving home and then you see something on the road that you just can't not take a picture of because it's one of the strangest things you've ever seen. There was a guy driving around Macomb County, Michigan with a dead giraffe in the back of his truck. Yes. The guy had a dead giraffe in the back of his pickup truck. The picture is of this is a silver Ford F-150, it looks like, and all you could see out the back of the truck is the neck of the dead giraffe hanging there. And yeah, I probably would have had to have documented that myself and probably would have done the same thing many people who saw it did, which was call the police. I don't know what crime has been committed here, but this has got to be against the law. You can't just have a dead giraffe in the back of your truck in the middle of Michigan. But apparently you can, and there was an explanation for it. Because, first you got to think, how the hell did we get a giraffe in Michigan in the first place? Did this guy hit it with his truck and then just loaded it up like it was a deer or something? Right. Look, there are people from America, people with way more money than I do. They go on safari trips and stuff. You can go on hunting trips and go hunt game like this out in Africa. The question is, how the hell did you get it back here if that's how you did this? If you went and hunted this thing in the wild, how the hell did you get it into the country? And why was your suggestion, we'll just throw him in the back of the pickup truck and I'll take him down to the taxidermist or whatever? That's what he was doing, by the way. That's what he was doing. He was heading to the taxidermist. So a giraffe housed at a local zoo passed away of natural causes. Somehow there was a museum that got involved, and the museum wanted to have it taxidermied, and they wanted to display it in the museum. Okay, I get all of that. I still don't understand why you asked Jethro with the F-150 to take it. Wouldn't you get a box truck for that? Wouldn't you think that would be something that, I don't know, you wouldn't want to alarm the public to, that there's just some dude out here killing giraffes and taking them home in his pickup truck? Stubby. Yes. Anyway, sum up the story. No crime was committed here. No crime was committed. However, the sign of crimes was definitely everywhere because there is nothing legal in my mind about what just happened.
My story it's also about crimes. I'm gonna leave out a tidbit of this story. It's an airline flight from point A to point B. I'm going to need you to guess the A and B when I tell the story.
Okay.
It's a 10-hour flight. It made it an hour and a half, maybe 2. Had to turn back to its original destination because 11 of the 12 toilets on the airplane were clogged. Where did the plane start? Where was the plane going?
I actually know the answer to this because I thought about telling this story, and then I thought, you know what? I'll save that for weird tomorrow.
Well,
but apparently
unfortunately, no, you won't.
Apparently, I will not.
Well, if you already,
it was a flight out of India.
nope,
Right?
it was a flight. It was an Air India flight headed to India out of Chicago. Now, if anybody has, I love Indian food. Don't get me wrong, but I would have been right. The only thing is, I would have thought that the destination was the departure, because I could easily see a place that serves a lot of Indian food clogging 11 out of 12 toilets in an hour and a half. Did you read further into this story, or did you only read the headline?
I did not. I only read the headline, and I was like, "Well, that's not a crime, so we'll move."
Oh no, it's a crime. It's an air crime. It's an air crime against humanity.
I mean, the only thing I was thinking was, they come from Chicago, so they had a lot of solid foods.
For sure. I mean, I understand. I understand something being clogged. I'm just not sure I understand it being the toilet. I mean, my God, you put 8 pounds of cheese on your pizza.
My biggest question about the story was, hey, wait, there's a plane that has 12 bathrooms on it?
Yeah, that's not uncommon.
I've never been on a plane that had more than 2.
Well, you've also never not flown in coach. We only give you hubos 2 back there in the back that you can fight with. Get through that curtain. It's a different world up there, bro. The rest of the story, this gives me the angina. It doesn't explain this. It leaves it to your own imagination. The 300 passengers and crew deplaned without any issues. And on the way back to Chicago, were provided with accommodations to minimize inconvenience. What does that mean? They were provided accommodations to minimize inconvenience on the hour and a half flight back, because they got to Greenland and they turned back. So does that mean they were like handing a cup for people to piddle in? Hey, we only got one body, and it's pretty gnarly back there. So we got this bowl if you need to go real bad.
Yep.
Then, and this was just buried at the bottom.
We were using vomit bags. You got to go, just go in the vomit bag.
View from the Wing, which is apparently a website that talks about airline things, added that the plane was grounded at O'Hare for 2 days. It required significant maintenance and cleaning. Come again? You grounded a commercial airliner for 2 days with your poodums.
Yes.
What in the world are you doing, Chicago?
I'm telling you, man, it's all that Chicago deep dish pizza.
They do put 8 pounds of cheese on a pizza.
Right. You
It's
got all
so
that
good,
cheese.
too.
It makes things a little, rigorous.
I mean, that is my personal hell. I'm on a plane where 11 different individuals have constipated a toilet. I just take it down.
In an hour and a half, nonetheless.
You just take it down. I have to get out of here.
Like, we all got in the air and immediately went, okay, now is the time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
we didn't think about that in the terminal
For
first?
sure. Yeah, like, stop putting pickles on hot dogs, all right? That's what leads to this.
Yeah, and by the way, they definitely this last trip that we took, they definitely did not get me anywhere close to the first class curtain. I was in the last 3 rows of the plane on every flight that we took, which was not bad because it meant that if I needed to go to the restroom, I didn't have far to go. I didn't have too many people to have to hop over to get to the restroom. But yeah, I'm a back of the plane kind of guy.
I am not. I would have enjoyed watching you and your wheelie scooter getting through that really tight little aisleway there.
Oh no, you can't they won't let you take the wheelie scooter on the plane.
You had to hop.
I had to leave it outside the plane in the terminal, and they would put it on the plane. But I could take the scooter like down the little tube thing to get to the plane door.
Skywalk.
The skywalk, thank you. I don't know what that's called. I had to leave it there and then like hop through the door, which was the biggest problem because there's nothing to grab onto immediately right there at the doors. So I had to balance hop on one foot through the door. Then once I got to the aisle, it wasn't hard because you could just use the chairs, the backs of the chairs as crutches. So that part wasn't bad. It was the getting to the aisle that was the hard part. I almost destroyed one stewardess on that. She caught me, and she was stronger than I thought she was going to be. She held me up, and I went, "Good for you."
Well, I mean,
thought that was going to be disastrous.
Well, now here's the question: could she have caught you circa 2021?
No, most definitely not.
Okay,
most definitely not.
Because that would be an impressive feat. Now you're a normal sized person.
Yes, I did enjoy the guy who got me on. He got me on the airplane at the Asheville Regional Airport. They put me in a little wheelchair to get me up the ramp because there they don't have the skywalks, or at that terminal they didn't have the skywalk.
They don't have skywalks there.
It's just a ramp up, and that was difficult. And rather than hop up 3 ramps, the guy pushed me up in the wheelchair, and he goes, "How much do you weigh?" And I told him, and he said, "Well, I only weigh this much, so maybe you should think about losing some weight." And I went, okay, that's how we're doing this? Thanks, random airport guy. Appreciate you. You probably shouldn't say that to many people.
Yeah.
I didn't take great offense to it because I thought it was hilarious, but you might want to be careful about who you say things like that to.
Yeah, like the other guy talking into these here microphones. You tell me to lose weight, I was going to lay on you. Like, hey, who's fat now? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts here on a Tuesday afternoon, the day before the free agency period, or the day before the league year begins tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville. We'll have some last hours coverage for you here as we'll have a shortened show tomorrow off at 1:30 for the pregame for the first game for the North Carolina Tar Heels in the ACC tournament. Pregame starts at 1:30 tomorrow. Tip-off of that game is at 2:30. But anyhow, final thoughts for today. For today, right now, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyhow, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we didn't talk about them. Yes, the Hassan Reddick deal. Like, I get that he's a diva, but I mean that I have no qualms with that deal. Can it wrinkle the locker room? Sure, it could. But for the most part, I mean, I'm a Hassan Reddick fan. So I had no issues with that signing. And the fact that they're bringing back Chris Godwin again, that was the only way that I wanted that to go.
I mean, the thing with Hassan, it's so hard for me to get the taste out of my mouth of how bad he was when he came back.
Right.
Because he showed up fat.
Yep.
And grossly out of shape. And then, it was like, by the end of the year, he was maybe back into playing shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to get that taste out of my mouth and look at, I'm going to give that $14 million. Okay. But then I look at Tampa Bay and go, all I really need to be is the guy on the opposite end of Yaya Diaby.
Yep.
And he can be that. He also can play that role because I've seen him do it before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it. The more shocking to me was that you got Chris Godwin back for $20 million less than the Patriots offered him. You got to really hate a place to go, it's not worth an extra $7 million a year.
Yeah. Well, it's not hate a place, it's love a place. He loves the situation that he's in with Tampa.
Yeah,
and
you can choose to look at it that way. You can choose to look at it that way.
You think it was I damn sure don't want to go to New England thing?
If the Jacksonville Jaguars had offered it to him, he would be a Jacksonville Jaguar right now. I'll bet you anything you want.
Okay.
He did not want to go to New England, and I don't know why, but he shut that down so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave it maybe 5 minutes of the legal tampering period to see if anybody else reached out.
Yep.
And they didn't. He was not priority one for anybody else coming off the injury, and he went, screw it, I'll go back to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that offer from Tampa Bay had been on the table for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't interested. No other offer came along. Okay, I guess I'll take it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. That'll do it for us today. Back with you tomorrow at noon to 1:30, right here on your home for Tar Heel Sports.
What's that sound?
All right, we're clear.
The unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose.
Right on. I am so glad I'm so glad the camera was not on for that last segment. I crushed my foot on this desk, and it took everything I had not to say dirty words.
Wash. Wow. For all day freshness.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want
All right, man. See you.
Also on a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states. So if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the App or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 1,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit and join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items